Als ersten möchte ich hier heute auf der Bühne begrüßen und bitte begrüßen Sie mit einer großen Runde Applaus. It's the man who produced all the Twilight movies from the first one till the last one. He produced many other movies like I, Robot. It's the producer Wyck, Godfrey. And then we have the man who gave us movies like Gods and Monsters, or the other one was Kinsey, for example, and he did the first part of Breaking Dawn and also the second one. Here's Bill Condon. And now we have here the guys you know as Bella, Edward and Jacob, of course, and it's Kristen, Stewart, Robert Pattinson and Taylor Lautner. So how is everyone? I mean, you had problems flying in, right?
Yes, apologies to everybody. We were socked in. We were supposed to come last night, and then earlier this morning we sat there for many, many hours.
Was it scary to land here in Berlin? Or?
No, it was great.
Was it all right?
I mean, it was
chilly.
Okay, perfect. Kristen, I'd like to start with you because, you know, ladies first, and I hope it's okay for you. I mean, in this movie we see a very different Bella from the other ones we saw before. So how did you find her, the new one, and how did you invent her, aside from what's on the page in the script?
All of our vampires have, you know, everything that makes them great, everything that makes them really special is coming straight from, even if it's a power or, you know, like something that seems, you know, really fantastical. It does come from who they were as people before, and considering I got to play her for, you know, 3.5 years as a human, I felt like I got to play kind of the most, like, well-rounded. I took every step along the way, so I didn't feel like I was taking this leap into fantasy land. It felt like the next natural step for her. You know, she does just become a really realized version of who she's been all along, and yeah, I don't know. I think I'd watched everyone else do it for so long. I was ready to jump in. I had no question. It wasn't difficult to transition into that at all.
Robert, I remember before the first movie started, we were sitting in a hotel room in Los Angeles, as far as I believe, and you said, you know, I can't imagine how this will be, you know, and all the fans that were so excited. So over the years, did you get used to the fans? I mean, the fans are a very important part of this movie. Did you used to get all the madness around it, or do you still think sometimes, you know, this is surreal or too good to be true, or what do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be really weird if we didn't have any fans at all. Be kind of interesting though. Just keep making them, no one watches them. But it was different. Yeah, it's a very strange thing to kind of have this really consistent fan base, and all around the world as well. They have a theme. Screaming, but God, sorry, this is terrible. I'm so jet lagged. This is not working. No, they're great, and they've stuck around, and they've been loyal, and yeah, and they've really been very supportive of us through the years. So it's made the whole process and all the other craziness a lot kind of easier in a way, just to know that someone likes you.
Taylor, I remember you told me that one of the best things about this, I mean, aside from doing the movies, is traveling, you know, for you to visit all the different places. So what was your favorite one?
I don't know if I could choose a favorite, but I've loved the traveling. I mean, before I started this franchise, I don't even think I'd been out of the United States. Oh yeah, of course, my favorite's Berlin, by the way. Did I mention that? No, I do. The thing I do love about Berlin, truly, is I I have one thing that I do here every time I come, and there's this bowling alley, and I go to it every single time, and I don't know why, because I'm terrible at bowling. I don't do it back home. What is that face
He's
for?
not terrible at anything.
Yes.
He literally rocket launches himself across the lane. Spider-Man bowler.
But I always love coming back here, and no, I've absolutely loved the traveling aspect of it.
I mean, you're an actor. You can pretend you're good at bowling, right? I mean,
no, I actually think I can, because if you look at my score in the end, it is terrible. I just look like I do like Superman dives as I'm bowling, so it looks like I know what I'm doing. So I do think it is acting.
Okay. Bill, can you talk about the challenge, you know, of releasing a movie in 2 parts? I mean, this must be very new for you as well. And what was it like?
Yeah, no, it was, but, you know, it was harder for her, I have to say. I was amazed. I think if people can see the sort of how big an accomplishment it is now that you have the 2 movies to look at, because Kristen would go from being emaciated and pregnant to being this warrior goddess vampire all within 24 hours, constantly back and forth. For me, it was just one big long script that I just kept shooting, but I was amazed by how she specifically, her arc across these 2 movies is immense.
Wyck, you've been there from the very beginning, and I think it's one thing to owe the rights to a very successful book, but it's another thing to make a very successful movie out of it. So what was important for you when you started this?
Well, I think always we tried to make the movies, you know, favor the fans of the book. We really sort of used Stephanie's books as the Bibles when we adapted them. We kept a consistent screenwriter, Melissa Rosenberg, who, you know, always found more cinematic ways to bring forth the characters and their dilemmas. It's certainly been a blast to watch these guys grow and sort of conquer these roles throughout 5 movies. But I think the thing that was probably most exciting to me was using different directors for each of the books, because I felt like the books always had very different themes at the core of them, and not all directors would make the same movie. So I felt like that was a way to keep the movies fresh for audiences, and having Bill for the last 2 movies was, you know, fantastic, because I thought the themes of Breaking Dawn were the most complex and mature, and Bill's kind of commitment over the last 2 years, literally every day for 2 years he's been on these 2 movies. I think a lot of people about 6 months ago would have quit pushing and trying to make things better, but he kept on it, and I think the results are fantastic.
Liebe Kollegen, jetzt sind Sie dran und wir beginnen hier in der, von mir aus gesehen, auf der rechten Seite in der 4. Reihe. Da sitzt eine Dame mit einer Sonnenbrille, Sonnenbrille, ich kann es von hier aus nicht genau sehen, und da ist das Mikrofon.
Hello, my name is Frauke Ghost from Radio Berlin. Welcome to Berlin again. Where's the bowling alley again? How do you feel about This Is the End?
Right. For me, what are you laughing at? For me, it's just it's a strange feeling, and it's really it's difficult to describe. It feels, in one sense, it feels like it's gone on for so long because it's been such a huge part of our lives and it's meant so much to us. But in another sense, it's kind of flown by. And then also there's the fact that we finished filming these movies almost 2 years ago. So it feels like we have been done, but then the movies still have yet to come out. So it's all very just confusing, and it is a strange feeling. It's weird. It's weird that it's coming to an end.
Wir haben eine weitere Frage auch auf der rechten Seite von mir aus gesehen, der Herr in der 3. Reihe ganz rechts außen.
Hi guys, it's Tom Westerholt, German radio WDR. Question to Kristen, Robert and to Taylor. According to the question before, you've always been talking about Twilight being such a kind of family which grew over the years that you shot the movies. So now, as you said, it's gone for like almost 2 years. How did the family thing work out? Like, who who called who? Did you really stay in contact, or was it more like wishful thinking and most of it is gone?
Yeah. Honestly, you know, we have a huge cast, so you know, we're definitely not having Sunday dinner anymore, all of us, all 25, 30 cast members. But to be seriously honest, I think if I were to run into anyone who'd been involved in this thing, it doesn't matter how many years go by, I think it would be sort of instant. You know, you do create a bond when you love something together, and we got really lucky. No one was a jerk. We got, like, everyone was on the same team. Everyone says that at press conferences about their movies. Oh, we were a big family, but this actually really was a pretty solid group. I feel so strong standing next to these guys. So, yeah.
But this is also a typical actors thing, isn't it? I mean, you have such an intense time together, and then you split and you promise to write each other Christmas cards, and then there's the next movie, and you do it again and again, and then you lose touch in the end, right? It's like this, I believe.
Well,
Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, we have another question over there in the first row.
Hi, hello, my name is Ursula Vogel from KSTU France, and I would like to ask Robert, what do you actually think about the surprise at the end of the film that differs from the book, and what do you think the fans will think about it?
Are we allowed to give away the surprise? I don't know. No. Okay, without giving away the surprise. I mean, I hadn't read the book before I read the script, and so once all this stuff started happening, I was thinking, what? This is really how Stephanie chose to end the book? And somehow I haven't heard about this in the 2 years since the book's been out, or 3 years. And I thought it was kind of amazing. I mean, as the films went on the first one, we were quite loose with making up lines. I mean, we would do little bits of improvisation and stuff. But as the films got bigger and bigger, like the books were like the Bible. I mean, the idea of changing a line was ridiculous. Even if it was it felt more natural to say something a different way. And to suddenly, in the last one, go just completely out there. I mean, it was I don't know, I thought it was really brave of Bill and Melissa, and especially when, you're running the risk of being eaten alive by rampant fans. But I don't know, I think in some ways it's, once the book's been out for a while and this fan base makes their own fan fiction, and they invent the stories, so why can't we invent a little bit as well?
And it comes from I asked Stephanie about this, and she said that like how she felt about stepping outside of it. And she said that really and truly there is a detail that sort of makes it, you're not stepping outside of the book at all. It's just a sort of elaborated version of a detail that's easy to skim over, but if you go back and find it, it makes total sense.
Ich möchte Sie gerade, wenn Sie im hinteren Teil des Raumes sind, noch einmal bitten, die Hand sehr deutlich zu heben, weil je weiter man da reinguckt, desto mehr verschwimmt es. Also wenn Sie hinten sitzen und auch was fragen wollen, bitte die Hand vielleicht noch ein bisschen höher halten. Da vorne auf der Seite, dritte Reihe, ganz außen bitte.
My name is Franziska from thecollins.net, and I wanted to ask Robert, Kristen and Taylor, which was your favorite line that your character said in the whole Twilight saga?
In the whole saga.
I'm going to enjoy this.
You guys got yours?
Yeah.
There's a few that's popping around there, but I don't know. I still liked telling you that I was hotter than you in the tent. that one was pretty funny. I forgot about it too.
I was thinking something along the same lines, but it's not really my favorite line.
Right.
But I thought it was fun to say it from the first one. When I know it's your line, which I like. But I like the whole sequence of lines saying. I actually can't remember it in the details. But the one where she says you're beautiful. Shut up! I literally, that was one of the funniest. I couldn't really believe it was happening.
You would only step into the sparkle light for a moment. You were really shy about it.
I was supposed to have my shirt completely off, and so I did one scene, one take with my shirt off, and then Catherine was like, "Oh no, maybe we should put your shirt back on again." So I'm like, I have like this sparkling.
Who of the three of you is good learning his lines? Who is more, sometimes it's harder to remember, what you have to say?
I think Taylor's the best.
I'm Wyck. You're like,
I can answer that. Usually Rob's the one going, I don't know what any of this is. I'm not saying anything.
No, I always remember them.
yeah.
I'm good with lines. Kristen just makes them up.
Wir haben eine weitere Frage vorne links, zweite von
Hello,
links.
I'm Nancy from tlautner.com. Taylor, how was it for you not to be in the final battle scene?
Okay, in this movie? Yeah. I was bummed while we were filming it. I was, because it was obviously a big part of the movie, and I remember it was for like a 2 or 3 week span that you guys were in that little what was that thing? You had a
center.
Yeah, but no, I was jealous. I was jealous of my co-stars, and I was jealous of my CGI wolf. I think I came in for a few beats to play my wolf again. I didn't have to put on that full gray suit that I did in Eclipse.
Right. Oh yeah, because I wanted you to stay. Yeah, because I had a few looks.
But there was a few. Yeah. But no, I was bummed. But I'm okay with it now, because after seeing it, it's all. I mean, and the wolf looks much cooler than I would standing there. So
Pretending to be a wolf.
I wish.
Bill, you worked very close with Alexandra on the soundtrack, as far as I believe. So, which were the tracks you picked, and are you a music buff?
I am, although it's really not my kind of music. But basically, what happens is that hundreds of tracks get submitted by major bands, and lots of great musicians. And my only criterion always is, does it work for the scene? I really don't care about whether they're big or successful or anything. And so it's she gives us the whole range. I think we're at 500, and then we find the 10 songs that work during the editing process.
Wyck, you worked also very close with Stephanie, of course, because she was a producer as well. What is it like to have the author of a book as a producer on board as well?
It's very scary. You sit there and look at her every take and make sure that she's all right. No, the truth is,
honestly.
and Kristen comes up every now and then going, am I doing this okay? No, the truth is, Stephanie's been involved from the beginning, and she really got progressively more involved through every movie. So on Breaking Dawn, it felt like a natural progression, and I felt like she really was there, just kind of supporting the movie and Bill and what he was trying to do, and she felt like, this was just the culmination of everything, and I wanted to be there.
I mean, in Los Angeles, I believe she said there might be, or I won't say there won't be another book. So you might know better than we do. So what is your information?
No, and I think she's been public about the fact that she knows in her mind where the story goes, but she has no desire right now to sit down and write them. So, but she's not saying that she won't in the future.
Eine weitere Frage hier vorne, rechte Seite, relativ schwierig zu erreichen mit der Angel, glaube ich. Eine Dame in einem roten Shirt auf der ganz linken Seite. Das war jetzt ein bisschen gemein, ich weiß, aber...
Hello, I'm Barbara from RobertPattinsonFans.com. You three guys developed your characters now through 5 films with really profound changes now. Bella becoming a vampire, Jacob with Renesmee, and Edward becoming much more personal. So this is quite a journey. Now, Rob, you keep mentioning doing promotion. One thing, that's the fan event in Munich for New Moon with 20,000 screaming people in the Olympic Hall. And I think you were deeply impressed, shaking slightly your head in disbelief, I guess, and running your hand through your hair. And now, thousands of promotion tour later, you see much more professional doing promotion. So I guess this is quite a journey as well for you. So now when you compare Munich to Berlin today, and developing your character Edward through all these films with these profound changes now in the end, did this help somehow?
Maybe. No, I mean, there's still Munich is still was like, I mean, if I did that again today, I mean, that was unbelievable. I mean, it was ridiculous. Like, probably one of the most absurd things that I've had anything to do with this movie. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you kind of... Definitely, I mean, the kind of intensity that Edward had in the first one, where, you know, he felt, it's the step from being extremely isolated to, you know, talking to the first person you talk to in a long time. I guess at the time, I mean, it was my first American movie, and I didn't really know if I wanted to be an actor or whatever, and it kind of had similar insecurity issues and stuff. Well, yeah, I mean, you just kind of you do other movies in between, and just getting older. I mean, I think it kind of just goes with the pattern, with the thread that Edward takes throughout the whole series. It's strange though to think, how long is the actual series set over? Like a year? So a year and a half?
Something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy how much. I mean, considering we've been doing it in real time for 5 years, it's it's crazy what he goes through in a year and a half. It's very, very extreme.
Wir haben noch Zeit für 2 Fragen. Da vorne, dritte Reihe, der Herr im gelben Hemd. Ich weiß, wie er heißt, Emanuel, aber das wird Ihnen nichts nützen.
Yes, but he's right. This is Emmanuel. So my question is, when you look back over the last years and the movies and the big impact it had, have you ever had the I don't know, the idea in your mind, would I do it again? Would I sign this contract again if I were this person some years ago?
Yeah. Yeah. Are you gonna say no? Absolutely not. Never again.
I thought you said, but would you question it?
No, sorry. Yeah, no, I meant no.
Yeah, no, it takes a really particular thing for me to want to pretend to be another person and let people film you and then have people watch you. And to be able to sustain that investment for over 5 years is probably something that I could do with every movie I've ever been a part of. It's one of the most indulgent experiences I've ever had. I could go back and reshoot scenes from any one of the movies. I really do feel so close to it still. It's really remarkable. I mean, because it's the first time I've ever experienced that. You hear a lot of people from TV shows saying, like, it gets monotonous, we're stuck in it. This thing never ever felt stale. You know, we always knew where it was going. We always had these moments weighing on us, these like treasured moments from the book for, you know, for years. So the build-up was so intense that to finally do it, it just never felt stagnant. So I wouldn't trade nothing.
We have time for one quick last question. Ich habe den hinteren Teil so vernachlässigt, deswegen bitte letzte Reihe in der dritte von rechts.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline from Radio Charivari from Munich. Have you ever listened to your German voices? And if you do you like it?
The German dub.
You had the premiere last year, remember? Yeah.
I've met the guy as well. Yeah. He's really nice. I like listening to stuff dubbed. I think it's quite interesting. I liked it in Spanish as well. It kind of, like, I really liked it in Spanish. It gives it like a kind of something. I kind of almost preferred it. But but I haven't seen one of these movies in its entirety in German. I have seen another one. I've seen this film called. Well, I'm just babbling on about nothing.
Taylor, is there something you want to add to that, or no?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't really. No, I haven't.
Thank you very much for coming to Foggy Berlin to be here. It was wonderful to have you here, and good luck for the premiere tonight and for the future and for everything. And der Film startet, wie Sie alle wissen, it opens in cinemas next Thursday. Breaking Dawn bis zum Ende der Nacht Teil 2. Vielen Dank, dass Sie hier waren.
Danke.